A statement released by Trump's office Friday night contends everyone takes work home sometimes.
No, they don't in this field. And if they do, they get arrested.
Because there was, some might argue, not a lot of work being done in the White House, a lot of executive time. So I'm not sure why he would bring stuff to his golf course. The statement reads in part, quote, President Trump, in order to prepare for work the next day, often took documents, including classified documents from the Oval Office to the residence.
Wait, but I don't understand. If you're not working during the day, why would you work at night? If you're watching cable news all day, why would you, like, nobody believes that either.
This statement goes on to say that he had a standing order that documents removed from the Oval Office and taken into the residence were deemed to be declassified the moment he reviewed them.
That's a lie, too.
Trump's former national security advisor, as you said, Joe, John Bolton, says he never heard of such an order. During an interview with NBC News over the weekend, Bolton offered this challenge to the latest line from the former president's office.
When I became national security advisor, nobody briefed me or informed me that this policy or order was in effect. I was never aware of anything even remotely approximating that policy, and I haven't heard anything of it since I left. If he, in fact, said something like that, when was it memorialized? When did the White House counsel write it down? To whom was it distributed? But if he did take materials out of a safe space to the residents, it would have to be documented what they were, each document, so that people would know what had been declassified. And I know of no logistical train, no paper train at all that says what's declassified and what's not. When a document is declassified, it's not just declassified as to Donald Trump, it's declassified for the whole world. So in theory, if that order existed, which I don't think it did, the news media could today file a Freedom of Information Act request for every document he declassified, which over a 4-year period could be a pretty high stack. So I think this is made up, and I think a key point here is when somebody's making up stories like that, I think it indicates a level of desperation.
So Mick, he's never heard of any order. If there were such a standing order, it would change how the documents were held. Anything that he declassified, reporters could get because it's been declassified. And the person, for those of you that don't follow the news closely, the person that was talking there was not the head of Parks and Recreation for Donald Trump. He was a national security advisor. If anything like this had existed, he would have known about it because he would have been working with other people to take classified documents and declassify them.
As Joe said, it's also being reported that at least one lawyer for the former president signed a written statement back in June that said all of the material marked classified and held in boxes in a storage area at Mar-a-Lago had been returned to the government.
And that lawyer signed that document for
Donald Trump.
Donald Trump.
We know that the FBI agents seized 11 sets of documents with some type of confidential or secret marking on them during the search on Monday. While the former president said on Friday he had already declassified the material found in his possession, there is no documentation of that. And further reporting by the New York Times goes on to say, quote, the Justice Department also subpoenaed surveillance footage from Mar-a-Lago, recorded over a 60-day period, including views from outside the storage room. According to a person briefed on the matter, the footage showed that after one instance in which the Justice Department officials were in contact with Mr. Trump's team, boxes were moved in and out of the room.
You see, that's the thing about the Justice Department and about the FBI. If they're coming to search for things at your house,
they're going to keep coming.
They actually already know they're there.
And they're going to keep asking. And they're going to watch you.
And by the way, if they ask you for your security footage, and there's a strong likelihood that there's somebody on the inside working with the FBI, they already know there's security footage of people moving classified documents out of safe areas inside of Mar-a-Lago, safe for Donald Trump to hide them from everybody else, after the DOJ reaches out and asks for classified documentation. Sort of like a Perry Mason thing, isn't it, Mika?
Yeah.
If they ask the question, they already know the answer.
That's important for one special viewer of Morning Joe to perhaps think about. But let's bring in the host of
Well, it's also important for other people, Mika, to know. Hi, everybody.
Hey.
You all already know what I'm about to say here. You know, it's. I think there are a lot of people with PTSD, whether they're Democrats, independents, or Republicans, who've seen in the past that it seems Donald Trump is above the law. It's just important to remember that what we've been looking at in the past has been Donald Trump in political settings. Even the Mueller investigation was an investigation that, for the most part, was in a political setting. And he had said that he wasn't going to bring charges against the president. This is not in a political setting. And I will say, when I first ran for office, my first couple of months on the campaign trail, I was a bit surprised that people could just say anything and get away with it, because my mind had been shaped in the law. And there were rules of evidence in the law. There were rules of civil procedure. There were rules that you had to go by, or else the judge would become quite unhappy with you. So everybody would go by those rules or pay the consequences. We're now in a legal environment, all right? The ring that we're in now is not the political ring where anything goes, any lies stand. All you have to do is convince the dumbest people watching you that you were cooperating with the FBI, or that this was a hoax, right? Or that the election was stolen. This is in court. And because it's in court, it's the same reason Rudy Giuliani could lie at press conferences outside of courts, but then go inside of courts and say, oh, no, Your Honor, we're not alleging widespread voter fraud here, because there are actually rules inside the courtroom. This is Donald Trump's problem. And for people thinking this is going to be just like everything else, it's not. We're going to find out. Either Donald Trump is going to be charged with a crime, or he's not going to be charged with a crime. And we will know that there will be a thorough investigation, and it will be based on the law. And that's something that I think people that are so worried that Trump is going to get away with something or get caught, I think they can rest assured that Merrick Garland and the Department of Justice, they're going to follow the law. And I know people are complaining, oh, this is helping Donald Trump. I think Bill Maher had said something like, oh, this is reviving Donald Trump. So, if it revives his political career, it revives his political career. You follow the law where it leads you. You administer justice to all, regardless of the outcome, regardless of their standing. And that's where we are right now.
I don't think you can call the Attorney General and try and turn the heat down. I think when the Justice Department, the FBI are working on something, they're not looking at anything else, and they're not listening to anybody in terms of their advice as to how to handle.
Well,
like I said,
also turning the heat down, you then release the name of the agents.
Oh, come on! Oh my gosh!
Who are facing unprecedented levels of death threats, and you release a document so you can get the names of the FBI agents out there. That's where we are right now.
And the danger. There's a lot of different areas that we need to cover here about the dangerous rhetoric online and finding its way out into the country.